Jesus is speaking about joy today. And he wants our lives to be filled with joy. We want to feel that joy. We want to know that that joy is real, don't we? We really need that. But we also know in our own lives the absence of it. Bad news spread all over the place during these past weeks. It almost becomes mind-boggling. The earthquake death in Nepal is over 8,400 people died. The riots in Baltimore, the violence, ultimately question our humanity. We deal with poverty, ignorance, sorrow, disillusionment, depression, anger. All of these events and attitudes touch our lives. They touch our lives here in the United States, all over the world. They touch our jobs, our families, and our neighborhoods. And sometimes, I don't know about you, but I stop and I ask, in some of those moments when all of that's coming at us, why do we even go to church? Why do we even bother? It just doesn't seem to make a difference. But then, when we listen to the gospel, when Jesus speaks of joy, he's not offering a ready-made answer for us or for anybody else in the world. But what Jesus is offering is an affirmation. An affirmation saying that if we really want security, if we want to experience love, if we want to experience the care and the hope and the real joy that Jesus speaks about, then it's going to take effort and it's going to take work. In fact, he reminds us the depth of that. No one has greater love than to lay down one's life for one's friend. The Lord chooses us. God has loved us. And God chooses each and every one of us, each of us. Doesn't leave anybody out. Chooses all of us, each and every day, chooses you. How we choose to respond to that love, how we choose to respond to that graciousness of God toward us, will either strengthen the quality and the goodness of our world, or it will diminish the gracefulness that we experience in this world. I think of the rescue workers who worked in the rubble of Nepal, affirming in all of that rubble, affirming the value and dignity of human life. They had to work hard. I think of the citizens of Baltimore who worked to bring calm to an angry city, and in the midst of the flames and the anger, worked to bring calm. Affirmed the promise of justice and peace for all people. I think of the mother in Wisconsin who took 3 bullets protecting her children. She saw one child die and her husband killed. And taking those 3 bullets in herself, she took the 5-year-old and 7-year-old and got them to safety. Affirming that love has no guarantees. Did it. I think of the nurse who planned a prom in a hospital room for a seriously ill teen named Jeff Novak. how she wanted to affirm in Jeff's life, dying from leukemia, that somehow he could find just a glimpse of joy, and that in all of the disillusionment and despair that probably has touched his family's life and his, that there's an inner feeling of care and love. She wanted to affirm that. In the movie Romero, Archbishop Oscar Romero, the Archbishop of El Salvador, is kneeling at the grave of his friend, Father Grande. Father Grande was killed by assassins while trying to make this acre of God's world just a more graceful place for the lives of the poor, affirming the dignity of the poor, affirming that Jesus' promise of joy was real, it could be felt, it could be experienced, it could be made real. And in the light of that scene, Archbishop Romero falls on his knees at the grave of his friend, and he prays to God. He says, I can't, you must. I'm yours, Lord. Show me the way. Today, we're called as God's people to stand before a God who chose us, who loves us, and to somehow in all of our quest, all of our efforts, to be able to say together as a community, we can't. You must.